Okay. Uh, I'm so glad I can cut all of this out. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. I am the Bardic Knock, the Game Master. For today, we're going to be playing some more Final Fantasy D6, a fan-made tabletop role-playing game system for Final Fantasy. D6s. That's it. I will give a recap of what happened last time after I let the other wonderful voices of the amazing, beautiful people say words about themselves and such. Go!
Poomst.
I don't know what that was.
Oh, just go over the regular pattern. ATB, go first.
Okay.
Hi. I am a tired bye. I am more tired than usual. So I was kept up till like 3 a.m. my own time. And I woke up about 3 hours ago, I think. Don't know math. I am here. I play Lilith. Lilith she started out as edgy, but I think she's slowly going into edgy mom friend territory at this point. Which is, yeah. You can find me here on Wednesdays for Digimon, Digital Crash, play as Rukia. I think there's like 2 sessions left, Bardic?
That is the plan, yes.
Yeah, if you wanna like see it when you still got a chance, so you can just rewatch it on YouTube, then yeah. And I believe this Thursday is when Dead K is having another one shot, which I might be in. I haven't really heard from her, and she is out of commission today, cause pain. Yeah. I just exist. In the void. It's very nice.
So, incredibly real. But I just exist. Which is such an astounding achievement. Just in general. Take it.
Thank you. Hi. I'd like to thank Satan.
Huh? Did you say my name?
Yeah, Natch, go.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Gosh, I have ADD, and I'm not going to apologize for that. So hi, I'm Natch. I'm playing Malcolm the Red Mage, Magic Whip Edition. And you can find me on Twitter at Natural One. And recently, I've started streaming on my Twitch account again. So we played some Baldur's Gate 3 yesterday, and that was fun. We accidentally made a Twitter celebrity, and made bad decisions. So it was a good time had by all, I think. So check me out here, there, everywhere, especially there. You know where that is. And that's a threat.
Oh, I was about to ask, is that a threat or a promise?
Both.
Hi.
Alright, continue. Before I say something I regret.
Rain.
Oh god, I choked drink.
Who are you?
Some days I wish I knew. I am Rain Hayes, and I am playing Reno Boom, who makes very poor decisions that somehow make life better.
That is the dream.
Incredibly accurate, and yeah.
I don't really have anything to plug right now. Oh wait, I think we're playing this Tuesday on She Foxy's channel. We haven't been playing the past couple of Tuesdays because people have been out sick, but
Oh.
I think we're playing this Tuesday.
Maybe this Tuesday? Just thing?
Maybe. On Shay Foxy's channel, where I'll be playing a very disgruntled werewolf who is currently, her entire pack is under attack by death. So,
Oh God.
Oh, death.
Have you considered being a gruntled werewolf?
that was the original plan, but then we started playing.
Oh,
Oh.
that's
Be-
fair.
It is now my life's ambition to just be generally gruntled.
Yeah.
How does one become gruntled though?
Well,
Take out the disc.
you'd find all the stuff in life that disgruntles you, and then you'd eliminate it. Then there is no disgruntling. Gruntles.
Oh. I feel enlightened.
So just careful with phrasing. There are Americans in the room, so take care of it usually involves a clock of some kind.
Oh god. Oh.
A clock?
Okay.
I feel like I am tired and confused.
There we go.
A clock is a gun.
Oh, you said Glock. I thought you said clock, and I was like, how does time relate?
Okay.
I can go with that too. I mean,
I'm gonna take one slow exhale, and I'm gonna try and DM. Alright, here we go. Alright, I feel better. Last time on Final Fantasy D6, the Rebels of Spira, after being rudely interrupted from our late night picnic, we decided to go and find out what happened to a badly injured person. Ran across some cliffsides and some mountains through a forest. We beat up some living ice. We beat up some living fire. Then we threw a plushie at a mechanical door to make it explode. We then went in.
It worked.
We saw there were the two paths, a fire path and an ice path. We took the ice path. We slid down, got into a boss fight with a chimera. We shot it with a big gun. It died. And as we were celebrating a victory, a large serpentine tail kind of slithered into the room, wrapped itself around the chimera and dragged the corpse further in to this frosty cavern.
come back! I wanted its brain.
What do?
Try to speak, and then my body decides, nope, you're choking. Oh god.
That's a mood.
That's just a bonus action. You can keep going.
Bonus action. Lilith chokes. And suddenly sounds like a Canadian. It's like a Canadian. I guess that's the next target, so... Beat up that one now?
I mean, if nothing else, it'll lead us to its source.
Mm-hmm.
I have no arguments against that.
So is everybody, like, up for chasing after it and then...
Reno's already chasing after it. Come back to my brain!
I'll take that as an affirmative. Let's go.
Okay. Are you just sprinting down this hallway, basically? Are you taking time to look around or be stealthy or any such thing, or are you just gotta go fast, gotta get brain?
See, player brain is telling me that is a cautionary statement to which I should be paying attention. Reno brain is kind of focused on the fact that the brain is getting further away.
Reno brain want brain.
But you're so explosive. Please don't run into the fire.
Isn't that the idea?
You know what? You're right. Go for it.
Or guess. Godspeed, little buddy.
me just grab a little something. Because it has dawned on me I forgot to get my dice out. So come on, math rocks.
Is
That
it?
many.
Math rocks.
The forbidden crop. Okay. So, Reno, I assume you are leading the pack.
Probably.
Could
I think that's accurate.
I need you to roll here. Could you roll me a force check, please?
Force. So, there's roll 20.
Okay,
11.
That's not bad. Let me see what the power of this thing is like. Double six. Okay, I am not fucking lying. So, no, I'm just gonna maneuver my camera. I just rolled the blue and the white die. Oh,
Are you
smart
just
person.
making up for your rolls from the Digimon game?
Yeah. So,
You're just gonna get super good rolls now?
as I can't direct camera. There's a reason. I somehow got double sixes on my first roll.
Hmm.
This is a
Oh,
good
dear.
start.
This is why you got the bad rolls in Digimon, so you could get the good ones here, I guess.
You know what? That's fair, because in the last Digimon session, I didn't roll to hit anyone the entire session. So, like, the very, very end. So, Reno, you are running. Out of curiosity, how does Reno run? Does Reno kind of, like, when she gets into it, does she go a little bit more, like, beast mode?
She kind of alternates between running on 2 paws and running on 4.
Nice. Alright. As you are running, and you probably don't notice it, but your foot will, like, press down on, like, a weighted platform. And as it does so, a small glyph lights up. And as that happens, the ice, because you're still in an ice tunnel, immediately begins to melt, as from underneath you, a pillar of fire just erupts upwards. So, I am going to need you to take... what's that? Yeah, that will deal 13 M-arm damage.
Okay, so I reduced that by armor, right?
M-arm, because it's magic.
Yeah.
Magic fire.
It's the same number either way.
Yeah. Now, everyone else, because Reno just triggered this, you could probably just maneuver around it and it not be a big deal. However, what it has done is it has basically it's melted all the ice in the surrounding area. So whilst it is no longer a slippy floor, it is a very wet floor. So
I'm used to that. I don't know what you expected.
I don't know what I expected.
Doable.
So I'm not sure entirely what a wet surrounding will translate to mechanically, but I feel it is important that we know it is all very wet. I feel this is very
If
important.
only I
to
had
know.
taken Thunder.
You're gonna so wish you took Thunder later.
Yeah, I only have fire in terms of black magic, so this is gonna be a bad time.
Oh dear.
Maybe. With that, does Reno just keep going after being set on fire? Just going, nope, not enough to slow me down. Keep going.
I mean, it was only 5 points of damage.
That's not bad at all, actually. Alright. Reno, if you are still
She
taking...
might try to keep an eye out for more light up runes.
Okay. In that case, do you want to roll me an awareness?
Do 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 do.
Look at roll 20 so I can... 10.
10.
What does 10 translate to again? I think 10. Moderate? Yeah, moderate. Okay. So, moderate. That's seeing a Tonberry in the shadows. That sounds good enough to me. Yeah. As you progress a little bit further down, what you do notice is it's not on the floor, but it is like embedded into the wall, and it seems to have. If you were to stop and take a look at it, or like actually not the moderate, you could probably see a very thin red beam, and it seems to be like a motion sensor, and that seems to be attached to the wall. So probably don't touch that, or more bad happen.
Maybe try break? No, I'm just thinking of like Warframe rules of, oh, there's a camera, shoot it.
Reno will, like, she'll keep going, but she'll do like a parkour wall jump.
Okay. Do you want to roll for that, or do you just want to say you do it? Because you've seen it. I assume you'd be good enough to just do it. You can roll if you like.
Yeah, this is.
Or you can just do it.
This is natural cat athletics.
Yeah, 100%. You can just be cat and just. Please describe this as much as you like. So this is. It's not a particularly like narrow hallway. It's wide-ish. So if we were just going to use like, D&D like type thing, it's maybe like 15 feet type aesthetic. So there's plenty of room to move around. So you definitely have maneuverability to like do wall jumps and flips and such. So you can take full narrative control of how you avoid this not super well hidden trap.
I just have a mental image of Reno running along, doing like a side jump, but with her momentum using both hands and feet to claw against the wall and then to jump off that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you do any cool aerial moves as you do it?
She's really focused on that brain. she wants.
Do you mention at any point there is a trap here, or do you just keep going?
She'll scream out "trap," but won't actually, mention what that might be.
Just any screams of brain, 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 trap, brain.
Okay, so who would be the next person an order is not super important, but who would be the next person to come across this area to potentially have to do rolls and such?
Would it be Lilith, or do you think would Malcolm probably lead next, or do you think he would bring up the rear to make sure everyone's safe? Probably bring up the rear. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So Lilith can go next.
Yeah.
For trying to avoid.
I mean, you know that is a trap. You can either roll awareness to try and locate said trap to maneuver around it, or you can just do whatever it is you want to do. If that is you take your magic whip sword and whoosh and hit everything in the area to purpose. You can do whatever you want. This is entirely up to you.
The smart player brain is saying roll awareness so you can maneuver it carefully. Warframe brain is now active now and is saying use whip sword to destroy the sensor.
Everything is a valid option. Like, to be honest, I really want to see someone try and justify. I want to roll synthesis to not trigger the trap, because if someone can justify it, I am down for it.
I don't have synthesis. Well, I do have synthesis weapons. I could try to use the whip sword to destroy it. I mean, Lilith's at full health.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So
It's not-
in that case, can you just roll me an accuracy check, please?
Where's accuracy? So it's 2d6 plus 2?
That sounds
Or-
right. Your ACC. That's your accuracy.
Oh, ACC.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is 2.
Fine. All right. Yeah, that's pretty good. So you don't really know where you're attacking. So I assume you get to a roundabout where you saw Reno do a jump and just attack the whole area.
Yeah, just like she gets there and then she looks back and just motions for everyone to just stop and stay a few feet away. Just takes the whip sword and is like, leap of faith! Just swing of faith.
Yeah, so
Tries to get censored.
swing of faith. You do so. You wildly swing your whip sword around, slamming into the walls and floors and everything, and eventually, part of the whip sword crashes into some electronics that have been like hidden in the side of the wall. Sparks fly out, and it's very dramatic, very. And as it does that, you see like 2 vents on the wall open, as if like 2 nozzles were going to come out. And they try to activate, but they can't. They look like they've been stopped. And so they back up on themselves, and they freeze themselves over, and just kind of explode into themselves. So there's now like 2 giant frozen chunks in the wall.
Nice. I am glad with myself that it worked. And Lilith, after just thinking like, holy shit, it actually worked, she just looks behind her and is like, I think the trap is done for now. I say still be careful just in case, but I think it's dead. And we'll continue on walking.
Okay. Malcolm, is there anything you would like to do in this scene, or are you just happy to keep walking?
I mean, I'm running. I'm
Yeah.
keeping an eye out for things because I'm trying to, especially behind us, to make sure nothing sneaks up behind us. I'm trying to make sure everyone stays as safe as they can in fire hell.
Yeah, okay. So, basically, you don't need to roll anything for that. I can tell you, like, you're absolutely fine. Nothing is pursuing you way. Malcolm's doing a fantastic job of it. Yeah, this is serious. We're taking it seriously. Malcolm is good at his job, and that is being noted. All right. With that, I mean, there's not a huge amount of distance between you, I don't think. Like, if we were to use the general thing, there's maybe like a short distance between Reno at the front and whoever's right behind. It's not that far. So Reno, you will be the first person to arrive, and you find a large circular room that appears pretty empty. You see that there are 2 entrances. If this is a clock face, the entrances are at 8 and 4. So you then you come in through the entrance at 8. And that one seems all cold and frozen around it. The entrance at 4 looks all fiery and hot, not pleasant. The room itself seems to be split straight down the middle, ice on one side. Not fire, because the room isn't perpetually on fire, but like clearly hot on the other side. It's a fairly obvious motif I'm going for here, in case you hadn't figured it out.
Are there like lava geysers and stuff like that?
I'll just
Or is it just very hot?
instead of lava geysers, I'm gonna say there's like hot steam vents. That's kind of like
Oh, okay.
So you can like outside the wall. There's like white hot metal, and occasionally just like a big burst of steam will go psss, like hot, cold. That's the aesthetic. The room itself looks empty. If you are looking at your eye level, looking around, you don't see anything. You do not see any other entrances or exits. Just these 2. The room is, when you can look past the parts that are frozen over and the parts that are like a little bit melty, This room looks incredibly technologically advanced. Like, you can see like consoles and computery looking stuff, and it looks very space age, which is very strange for somewhere like Spira.
Hmm.
Where did my brain go?
I don't know.
Do you stop and look around anywhere, or you just like, do you stop in this room, or do you what is the plan of action?
I'm going to stop and look around, and then because player has just had this realization, probably at the same time that Reno has this realization. Reno's going to look up.
Yeah, you look up. You see the body of a chimera slowly, like, just being like enveloped. Like, you see, like, well, you can pretty much just see its hind legs and its tail slowly being like eaten, as you can see coiled up in amongst a bunch of like steel beams and rafters and generic metallic sci-fi looking bars and such. A huge serpentine creature. It doesn't appear to have legs. However, it does, whilst you can see where this chimera is being eaten by a bright red serpent head, coiled around the other side of it, you see a like a bright white head, like almost snap at the other head and rip out what remains of the chimera and rips it away. These two heads seem to share a single body. This is a giant two-headed snake that is dual chromatic between red hot and white cold.
Hmm.
They just ate my brain.
What are you looking at? Would it be fair to like have Elif look up, or it's like looking at Reno?
I imagine you weren't too far behind me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you easily would have arrived by the time Reno said, "You just ate my brain."
What are you looking at? Looks up. Oh.
It's a moderately sized snake.
Very moderately sized.
And
Do you speak a language?
Are you speaking to us or to Snake?
the snake will make
Snake. I know you guys speak a language.
the snake will make.
Oh, I actually know language monster.
Oh wow! You're gonna try and talk to the angry two-headed snake.
I have. I have
one
that
way
as
to
a
make it
skill.
not an angry.
Yeah, that's not a way to make it not angry. Reno's going to make it more angry.
Okay.
We are trying to make this snake gruntled.
Well, that's what Reno's going to try for, but what Reno's actually going to do?
I believe in Reno.
Why? What evidence do you have?
Fair point. Continue on.
So it's a skill, so I have to roll the skill.
Yeah, please.
Okay. That's the wrong tab. Do. Oh shit.
Okay. So I think this is our first complication, because that is double one.
Yeah, I think so. Like outside of battle.
Do I have something? No, wait. No, I think it only works if I get the complication. Never mind. Continue.
So, Reno, what do you do or say? What do you think happens here?
So what Reno thinks she's saying is, could you let go of it? I need the brain. I'm guessing what she actually says is something about its mother.
I mean, that's the obvious answer. I think what would make a really good translation from is, you think you said, "Can you let go of that? That's my brain, please." I think what you translate to saying is, "I lack a brain. Can you grab me, please?"
I lack a brain. Can you grab me, please?
I might have forgotten some syntax there.
So, the complication here, and this is going to be quite interesting, because honestly, I wasn't planning on using this, but you know what? We're doing it. Reno.
Reno got his problems on purpose.
In fact, everyone else, you get to witness this. The red-hot fire head just darts down and swallows Reno in a single bite. With that, we can initiate combat.
Wish I could
That's
say that's
problematic.
the first thing that happened to Reno.
So,
Usually it's not quite so literal, though.
So Reno, you are not going to take any damage for being swallowed. However, we'll come to that when you want to take your turn. Basically, you are inside the snake, and every round you are going to take damage until you can find a way to not be in the snake.
Yep, I'm looking over my character as we speak.
But how do I not be in snack? Wherever breakout of snack
That's
rules.
easy. Just cause it heartburn, and you've got the perfect heartburn source.
Okay.
Oh.
I was actually thinking of something slightly different.
Oh god, I think I know what I was gonna do.
Okay. I'm also very confused. Because this is the one time that I feel like explosions would be awesome.
I'm gonna do something that's slightly more inconvenient to it.
Oh, okay.
Because explosions in a fire snake probably don't mean much.
Right.
I'm in the fire portion, so.
They
Right.
eventually merge together. You just wait till you get to the part that's not all fiery, right?
I don't think that long. However,
As well, if memory serves, I don't think explosion explicitly does fire damage. Yeah, self-destruct, convert life force into explosive energy. It doesn't have an element.
I wasn't gonna do self-destruct. I wanted to be useful for this combat.
I was thinking Goblin Bomb.
Okay, so whilst Rain is mulling over his options, Malcolm, Lilith, Big Snack.
I don't think Lilith is back yet, so I will go next.
I totally didn't notice, but she said she had to step away.
So, I'm going to quick cast Ruse, and so that I can be a little bit more not being hit. So
just remind me what.
Ruse adds 2 to my avoidance, so my avoidance is now 9.
Okay, that's pretty good.
And then I will interpose myself between me and Raiko just to make sure he's safe or they're safe. And I think that'll be all I can do because the spell is my full action. So
yeah, because quick cast reduce it to one of your standard actions.
An action. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
ATB has returned. What would you like to do?
Can you give me a brief recap of what has happened? Sorry.
Reno got eaten by the fire snake.
Oh god.
So Reno has been
Don't worry, I have
home. Like Reno's still alive, but as far as like we as characters know that. Well, we as players know that. We as characters, Reno just got eaten. I don't know how familiar you all are with how snakes eat things, so I don't know if your characters are like, oh no, Reno's dead, or so.
Malcolm does start humming "In the Arms of the Angel."
So
Or whatever fancy equivalent.
and Malcolm just casts a spell on himself quickly and is kind of taking like a semi-defensive position between and what would you like to
Oh,
do?
that's right. We brought the other two too, didn't we?
I mean, they're there. They're catching up.
Yeah, no, sorry, I just forgot that they were with us. I'm also standing in front of them. It's not like oh, they're here, fuck those guys. No.
Only protect Raiko. I think Lilith is gonna try to aim. Would she be able to like try to swing her whip sword at like this thing's stomach? To
Yeah.
be like, no! Spit him out!
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So. Because the only thing I can do right now is try stab. I don't have magic. I know his sword.
So that would just be an accuracy. 10. 10 will hit.
Yay.
So how much damage do you deal?
So it would be. Okay, so I'm gonna just do the 2d6 first instead of trying to do the math right now. Oh, it's 10. Eight times 2 is 16, so 26.
Yeah, that's pretty good damage. As you just are you keeping in whip form, in sword form?
Is it still on the ceiling or is it like in front of us now going rar?
It is on the ceiling. Like the ceiling isn't super high up. It's maybe like 12 foot high. So it's still considered a short range. So you can make melee attacks against it because Final Fantasy works that again.
Okay, I'm gonna just try to stab it in the stomach in such a way where just trying to make it just spit Reno back out.
Okay, yeah. So it's just big stab. Sword, boom, goes in stomach. It goes angry snack noise. It did not like being stabbed. Okay. NPCs, what are they gonna do? So, let me look at stuff. Okay, so Val is gonna do what Val always does and jumps. Basically all she's doing. And Hans is going to
Hans is going to Hans.
Hans is going to. No, Hans is just gonna. Hans is gonna look at Malcolm and be like, "Friend, don't worry. I'll keep this one safe." And just pull out his massive sword and like take a full defensive covering stance in front of Reiko. Like, you can get in there. Hans has this.
I feel like
I've been waiting for you to say that for so long.
I feel like Hans and Reno are like the perfect examples of the difference between intelligence and wisdom.
Oh,
And what should we
Brilliant.
have Reiko do? Let me double check.
why is it that my first thought of whenever it's asked what should Raiko do, it's always yeet Tauntaun.
I mean, yes, Tauntaun Yeet is a very valid option here, but the question is, eat what?
I have an idea. Can I share my idea?
Please do.
What if Raiko yeeted Tauntaun at the rock that the snake is standing on, causing it to collapse and fall onto the snake, onto the ground?
Oh.
Because he can destroy objects with Tauntaun.
Yes, this is actually really smart. Okay. So, as I said, the snake is kind of like coiled up. It's basically made a nest in the rafters of this room. could totally just yeet Tauntaun up and destroy the rafters and leave the snake dangling and a little bit more vulnerable. Yeah, okay. I like that. I'm just checking. Did Raiko have a thing yet? I don't think I gave it to... No, White Mage has a really amazing ability. I just don't remember what it's called. That's it, yeah. They have an amazing ability called Reprimand, where basically the White Mage can just tell off monsters so they stop fighting you.
Nice.
So
Also, that seems like a Raiko thing to do.
that might be a thing to do in the future. So yeah, no, I do like eating Tauntaun. So Raiko looks up, grabs Tauntaun, and goes, "Okay, I mean, take this!" Ah! And it's just gonna yeet Tauntaun on up. That's a good enough actually roll to hit that. It's the main support rafter that the snake is dangling, like wrapped around. It just explodes. The snake's stomach just kind of like plumps down, and the immediate image that comes into my mind is going back to like Disney's Jungle Book, like where Khan, like at one point, like the stomach gets pulled down and the heads just kind of go whoop. So the two heads get kind of like pulled up and they get trapped in some of the rafters as its entire stomach is just exposed and unable to be defended. So the stomach is now just right there and easy to whack at.
That is terrifying.
Is it a gift?
Bobby.
That's some Beetlejuice shit right there.
I never knew that was part of a GIF. I always thought it was just like reaction images.
Oh god, I can't stop looking at it.
So
Yeah, sorry for everyone watching. It's horrifying. You don't want to see it.
All right. With that, it is Snake's turn. So first
What about
thing...
my turn?
Oh, Reno. Sorry. I forgot you're still... Reno,
No.
you are in Snake.
I'm still here. So just to clarify, you only get one standard action, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Reno's gonna look around at their situation and tap the blade of their gunblade to kind of activate it. And she's gonna slash at the snake at the inside of the snake's mouth to do... My intent is to do half damage so I can do the effect that's on the gunblade.
Okay. So, roll... Actually, no, because this thing will... It can't avoid you. You are inside it. I think you just hit. So, yeah. You hit, and then... Is it force or finesse for the effect you want to use?
Let's go with force.
Okay. So, opposed force checks. I know what mine is.
I shouldn't put that into the stream chat.
Typing the wrong place again. You beat me by 1.
So let's see. I do half damage, so I have to calculate full damage.
And then half it, yeah.
So it's resolve times 4, I believe.
Yeah, because you're immensely overpowered.
Tier 4 weapon. Plus 2d6.
Yep.
So 18.
I'm so sniffly and I'm sorry.
How dare you have a natural bodily function? Sicken me.
36,
I know, I am such a monster. Throw me into the volcano.
Oops. Actually, paste this time. So 30, 42 points of damage cut in half is 21.
Yep. What is the effect
Yes.
you're
And-
imbuing on this thing?
The status effect is where did I put it? Weapon. Where did you go? Blind. It is now blind.
Okay, yeah. The firehead is blinded, so it cannot make. Well, it can only roll 1d6 when making melee attack. Okay, so
Ah,
Reno. Now, just for ease, this isn't. You aren't poisoned, but we're just going to use a poison effect for taking damage whilst in this snack. So you're going to take 20% of your maximum HP at the end of each of your turns, so you get out of snack.
Okay.
So
So
I don't know what that is.
I can't math.
How much HP do you have?
Total or currently?
Total.
38.
So you just do 38 divided by 5. So you take 7.6, and I think we round down.
so it would be just 7?
Yeah, so you just take 7 damage. You no armor, no anything. It's just 7 damage straight.
Okay.
So let me just double check. There's you round. Rolling question. Yep. Okay. No, that's absolutely fine. That's fine. I'm just gonna say roll down for fairness' sake. All right. Snack turn. The fire snack, firehead. It seems to like just. It's clearly very upset about something. It's kind of like scouring around. Like obviously the heads are like stuck up, and it's not. It's just not enjoying itself. And what it is going to do. Oh, this is so dumb. This is so dumb, and I love it. Reno. Oh, Reno. You poor child. You
Oh no.
poor child. Oh, actually, you have one turn, I think. Let me just double check. Because... Yeah. Cool.
Is this just a scenario where Reno's gonna need so much therapy after this?
Yeah. Alright.
What are you talking about? Reno's having the time of her life.
Oh, okay.
This is exactly what she exists for, to get eaten by monsters.
So, what the snake is...
That's true. Yeah.
What the snake is trying to do is it's gonna start casting the blue magic spell Flamethrower.
Oh,
Reno, you are in its mouth. You are inside of
oh dear.
it. I mean, it won't come into play until the start of next turn, but you are the target. It doesn't matter where it aims this, you get hit because you're inside it. So you have one turn to try and not be inside the snake
Knew
anymore.
I should have done plan A.
Okay, so that is Fire Snack. Ice Snack. Ice Snack is going... I think Ice Snack is going to go and try and take a bite out of Lilith, because Lilith is the only one that's hit it so far. So its head kind of just like... It pulls out some of its neck and maneuvers, and it's just like going to swoop down and try and take a bite at Lilith. So, Lilith, what is your avoidance? Your AVD?
5.
5. Okay, so I rolled a 7. Pretty good. You will take that. 4. So, you will take 25 physical. So you reduce that by your armor.
So 25, you said?
Yeah. And then what's your armor?
It's 6.
Yeah.
So just a 19.
Yeah, so 19 damages. Big snack gonna like chomp at you. And I don't think it matters, but this is elemental damage. This is ice.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter.
It's a chilly bite. Ash. Ash.
The trinket you have, was that for ice or water?
was for water.
All right. We are back round to your lots. Who moves?
I can if everyone else needs time to think.
I'm just trying to figure out how to get the hell out of this mouth.
My
go next.
only. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you can go ahead if you want.
No, I'm still thinking because I'm just also thinking like, bid Reno out.
Okay, so Sneck is still. I mean, he's not like up in his nest, but he's still hanging from the ceiling, right?
Still hanging. The stomach, like there's basically a big tube of stomach area that is entirely undefended. So that part doesn't get to roll avoidance because it can't move it very well. The heads can still move around, and the tail can still move around a little bit, but the tail hasn't done.
Okay.
So there's a big open area you can just go and wail on physically. So choke.
Gosh, that would be the tactical thing to do, but that's not what I'm gonna do. Malcolm is going to run up the wall by the ice head, and use his magic whip to attempt to Indiana Jones wrap it around the neck and try and tie it off and choke it.
Okay. I like
This
this.
is not the time to be kinky with the monsters.
So Malcolm's thought process is it's probably like a cat dog situation where there's no real end, and its mouths are basically just two-sided cloacas. So if he ties off one side, then he can't actually digest Reno. So there's only one way to go.
Okay. So, mechanically...
I think it's logical. Anyway.
No, I am 100% in agreement with you. Mechanically speaking, what do you think you would like to try and do here? Because this, I don't assume this is like an attack, is it? This isn't like trying to hurt it. You are trying to do something else, aren't you?
I mean, I feel like it would mechanically be the same as an attack because it's still me using my whip to try and make contact with the thing, and it's still having the ability to avoid it.
Okay. Alright. You know what? I am going... And it's something I really should have done beforehand. I thought about it. Part of the GM's guide for this literally says, when your players describe things good, give them good bonuses. So...
Okay.
What I think is a surprisingly appropriate bonus here is essentially... I mean, you can choose here what you think would be more appropriate. You can either invoke a stun effect or a seal effect by using an opposed force or finesse roll with this attack as well.
Give me 1 sec to figure out what seal does.
Seal basically is you can't use special abilities. No magic, no special abilities.
I'm gonna go for stun then, because I feel like stun is like that, but more.
Seal can last longer. Like seal, let me just.
Okay.
Yeah, let me just double check. So, stun only lasts 1 round. And they can take no action. Avoidance is 0. Seal is Okay, I think seal is indefinite until it's removed. Because usually effects normally only last 4 rounds, but it says stun and seal are special cases, but it doesn't say seal only lasts 1.
Okay. I don't know. So, let's go with seal then. So basically, what it looks like is the magic part of Magic Whip, kind of snakes its way around, and kind of I don't know, this is almost gross, but like, kind of snakes its way into the snake's mouth, and like cuts off its like, I'm assuming it has some sort of gland for breath attacks. So it like cuts it off and makes it unable to use it until it figures itself out.
Okay, yeah, I dig that. So make your regular attack. So just your regular accuracy.
Which is 2.
Yep.
6.
6. 6 hits, because this thing has got terrible avoidance.
Fantastic.
It is a huge target. It's kind of hard to not hit it. So we'll do your damage in a second. But now, and this is your choice, force or finesse. Whichever you feel more appropriate and whichever one you can justify.
I mean, I would say finesse because it takes it. I mean, it would take finesse to get the whip to go where I want it to go, which, I mean, with a magic whip is probably equal parts force of mind and physical finesse.
Yeah. So finesse it is. So roll finesse.
So that's gonna be like 2d6 plus my finesse score.
Yep.
That's a 10.
That is a 10, and I rolled double ones. So
Woo!
Yeah, super successful as your whip goes in and it literally like finds like, so you get the chokehold on it. You see. You see that the snake is struggling. I was about to say like clambering. It doesn't have hands. It can't clamber at the rope. So snake is struggling. You can see it like choking and not having a fun time. It is now going to be afflicted by seal, meaning it cannot use its special abilities, including magic. So that will definitely come into play. Tries to cast its spell. Okay.
And let me know if this is way too much, but to kind of flourish at the end of the attack, can I like use my whip to, again, Indiana Jones, swing down and flip myself up and land on one of the rafters?
Oh, you can totally do that.
Absolutely. Yes, that is the plan.
100% swing, and you can be stood on the rafters, still having a whip around the snake's neck, and you're like, can pull and go, whoa, Nessie. Or whatever you're calling the snake.
I would, you know what? I would probably use that opportunity to use my quote. Which would be, you can call me sir.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yes. Oh, okay, Destiny point. You get a point of Destiny for that, because that was fucking cool.
Thank you.
Alright. Reno, Lilith, what would either of you two like to do?
Okay, this is a terrible plan, but so basically, mechanically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my gun blade, I'm going to stab directly down through the tongue and then fire it off to make a hole that I can slip through in the bottom of the snake's mouth.
Oh my.
I love it.
Good.
That's my escape plan.
Okay.
Let's see what actually happens.
Let's see how this goes.
So let's see. I have already forgotten what I'm supposed to roll for attacking.
Accuracy, ACC. So 2d6 plus AC.
Okay.
10.
That's 10.
Oh, wait, you don't need to roll to attack. You're inside the snake. It can't avoid you.
Oh yeah,
I forgot that as well.
Well, then damage is what do we see? 36 plus 2d6.
Hmm?
And while she's doing this, she's gonna stab down and go, "What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?" That's 41
So,
points of damage.
41, taking into account its armor. Yeah. It is a good sizable chunk of damage as you describe the scene. You do make the daring escape here. So you can describe this however you so wish.
Basically, the whole time she's been in there, she's just been slashing wildly around.
Mhm.
And she does like a reverse flourish over the back of her hand and stabs directly down. And then while it's stabbed down, she just kind of pulls the trigger and drops through.
Yes. Very much yes. Okay. So, as that happens, Reno makes her way out. Lilith, I believe it is you.
Yeah, I was planning on having Lilith, like, go and stab and try to stab at the stomach again.
Yeah.
But also... Yeah, and also I was going to try to have her use Darkside. It's like dealing shadow damage, just very much edgy rage of spit them out! Then just go stabs, and then
Drop it.
literally last second she realizes, oh, Reno's out! Oh well!
I mean, I say go for it. Because what does Darkseid do? It just makes it shadow damage, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then after resolution, you lose 25% of health or 50% if critical hit or limit break.
Just remember, what are your abilities currently? You have obviously you start with Darkseid, and then you've got
Forceful Intentions, Last Resort, which is like at 50% or lower HP, damage is increased by a step.
okay.
Forceful Intentions can use Force instead of Finesse to calculate max skill caps. Night Sword is the one that I used last time where it was like weapon gains, HP drain, lucky, and zombie touch.
That's it. Alright. So, are you at 50% or less HP?
Not yet. That's why Brain kind of wants to do Darkside, just because I calculated it beforehand. It's like this would bring her down to less than 50% or lower.
Okay, yeah, that's good. So, the stomach zone has no avoidance because it has been captured, so you can just ram on in for full damage, or just ram on in for damage.
Yeah.
That'll be power times 2 plus 6.
Mm-hmm. So 11. Almost a critical. Very
Okay.
close to a critical.
You have the reach quality though, don't you?
Yeah.
What is the effect of the reach quality, ATB?
It's so that for reach, it's a crit at 11 and 12. It is
Yeah.
a critical hit.
So, like last time a crit happened, limit break.
You know what? Sure. I can just reveal the freaking limit break that I've made so long for a while, and it's just like it's the most broken thing ever.
All right. So, you've charged up your shadowy blade. Take full description of what is happening here, and please be as cinematic as you want. So, go full anime, make your hair stand up on end, make the room shake, split the earth in half. I do not care. Whatever ridiculous over-the-top anime BS you want to happen, happens.
So, okay, I'm gonna make this full anime. Just go take notes from all the anime. So Lilith is charging up her blade. Shadows are just circling around her. Then at one point, there's just like basically it's like how like Super Saiyans in Dragon Ball, like they have this aura and just a pshing sound effect as their hair stands up on end and like the ground kind of trembles. And like her eyes, which you can see the greens from the masks sometimes, but they're just full like green shining. She just shouts like, "Eh," as she just shouts without knowing that Reno already escaped. Just spit them out! And he just charges with the chain whip sword, and halfway through she just allows the blade to fly as it just goes from like the belly button of the snake to just full on just slicing it like from belly button up to like the base of its neck. And like God, how to make it more cinematic. It's like the darkness is still like enveloping her. Like, and does the thing of like for the dark side of like some like black tendrils just stab into her because have to take like health of like this health penalty. Like for a moment the sword sort of stops at the middle. Then there's just like a battle cry from Lilith as she just takes one step forward and powers through, and the sword just goes completely black and travels up higher till it gets to where it wants to go. Then, like for a flourish, she just strikes like to the left, and the sword just goes out and flies before reforming again to a singular sword. Then the shadows just go away.
That is...
sink away, and Lilith's hair just goes down.
That is so fucking
Big.
What mechanically just happened?
Okay, so this is like for like 10-point or 5-point that we were doing for the limit breaks, by the way.
I think this is the 5-point one, the first one.
Okay.
Let me just double check. First one built with 10 points.
Oh, okay. So, first thing was area attack, which is like it affects all enemies or all allies. So for now, it's just, oh, there's only one enemy. It's attacking the full-on enemy. Second, I'm just gonna bring up my own notes because I did here. There is debilitate, which come up please so I can explain it. I'm on laptop, I know you can do this. Debilitate, which is literally when you attack an enemy, you roll a d6 and it inflicts a sort of weakness on it. Based off of the d6 from an elemental table. So I need to actually zoom in on this. Laptop is being so slow. It's ruining the tension, and I apologize.
That's absolutely right.
So yeah. It's dice roll. And oh yeah, it inflicts a weakness onto it. Never mind. So, oh god. Laptop. Bring it back to... Yeah, debilitate infuses the enemy with a random elemental weakness. Roll 1d6 and consult the following table to determine which one. So... It probably won't matter, but this enemy is now afflicted with wind.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm assuming like.
Oh, okay, no, that's cool. So you've made it weak to wind. Good to know.
Yeah. So I'm assuming, like, at one point, just a strong wind blew, like, from this enemy. No one knows where the wind came from, but that happened.
Yeah, you don't need to know. Magic.
It is also poisoned now due to status effect poison.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
And also, if laptop can cooperate. I also got stylish, which is the limit break is combined with a dazzling display of light color or raw power to awe allies and enemies alike. After the limit break is used, all allies receive a +1 bonus to accuracy and avoidance until the beginning of your next turn. Alternatively, all enemies suffer a -1 penalty to accuracy and avoidance for the same duration.
So which one are you making your enemies more likely to dodge, or are you making this one less likely to dodge?
I'm gonna make. I guess I'm gonna just make this enemy less likely to dodge, just in case.
Okay. Like this. This is very good. And right, so now we need to figure out how the damage works on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, limit break. So. Okay, so technically, I've totally just realized, technically, of all those things you just chose, you don't actually have any damage dealing.
Oh.
Like, do you not have attack weapon in there?
Oh, did.
I
Mm.
mean, that's absolutely fine, because you don't need to, because you were still making a physical attack, and you have
Yeah.
the Shadow Blade, which increases by 3 stages as well. So you're actually going to be dealing your regular damage, like, so increasing by 3 stages. So you're going to be doing your power times 5, and that's just because you're a shadow. You're using your Dark Knight thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't add attack weapon, huh? Well, I mean that's still fine. Right?
It's fine. You've made them weak and you poisoned it. So like in an area attack type thing, that's still really good because you just make everybody weak to something and poison them. That's still a really useful limit break. So you want to do your damage anyway, your attack. That'd be power times 5 plus 2d6.
So.
Warwick, I have a question.
Yeah,
I have something on my sheet that I don't remember how I got it.
What is it?
So I have my limit break, which I got last time.
Mm-hmm.
And with my limit break came a class limit ability, right?
Yep.
Okay, I also have something that says special ability that looks like it's something that I made.
Ah, yeah.
Do you remember?
That'll be from your engineer thing, where you can imbue random items with stuff. One of the properties is special ability, and that's the one we came up with on the spot.
Right, okay.
There we go.
Well, shit, I'll use that.
So that's what that was. Don't worry, I nearly forgot about that as well, man. Did you? Oh yeah, engineer. You just make up new abilities. So, ATV, how much damage do you deal?
So the 8 times 5 is 40. I'm assuming the 11 from last time is added to that.
Yep, 51.
Do I need to re-roll it again?
No, you can keep that.
51 damage.
Okay, that's a big number. As your sword just slices through. You hit in the stomach and you slice, and this is a clean slice. In fact, you know what? This is as if it was being cut by blades of wind because of the wind that's now being imbued upon it. That somehow poisons the snake. And what happens is the snake actually splits in two. You cut up to where the two necks separate, and it splits right down to the tail. They are still moving, but these are now two separate beings, both incredibly damaged, and both have a strong weakness to wind elements. That was friggin' dope.
Nice.
So, let me just do the NPC's turn. Because I can quickly do that.
She gets to finally jump.
Yeah, Val lands.
Ah,
The jump finally hits.
finally!
So I need to now remember how jump works, because we haven't actually used it yet. Because she keeps trying, bless her. Okay, so until beginning, she's up there, soaring, does that, immune to that, and lands, and do. Okay, so it doesn't actually deal any extra damage. It's just a way of getting her to move and keeping her safe for one round, basically. So that's basically all it is. So she's gonna do a hit, and she is aiming for. She is impaled. She's gonna like ram straight through the fire snake's head. That's a hit, and her damage. Okay, so fun fact: this didn't matter up until now, but Val's weapon is imbued with wind energy.
Oh.
So as she lands, like a small tornado forms around her as she slams through this fire snake's head. And I mean, it was basically dead, but Val's just really cementing, like, you're dead now. Deader than dead.
Like, it sort of like lifts its head a tiny bit and like just does a pitiful growl, and then boom.
So that's that. And then Hans is just gonna stand there and still being all like, I've got this. And Raiko's like, I know what I'm gonna do. Raiko's gonna use their arcane weapon ability to instantly cast Arrow on the ice snake, which is more wind damage. And Arrow, let me just double check this, because magic is incredibly powerful. So Arrow deals power times 3 plus 2d6. So that is 21 plus 2d6. So that's 31, which is then times by 1.5 because of the weakness. So 31 times. So that is 46.5 damage instantly. So Ice Neck is also, yeah, Ice Neck is done for as well, just for ease. So because of Lilith setting that up, it allowed the NPCs to get the finishing kills really easily.
I didn't think that would actually help.
So yeah, you killed a boss. You all get a point of destiny, and you also all level up.
Woo!
And thankfully, it's a quick level up, isn't it? And so we can make sure that is all taken care of as we go and take a quick 5-minute break.
Woo.
So I will throw us onto the break screen, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Good boss fight, everybody. And we are back, everybody. Alright. You are stood in a room with two halves of a giant snake that has been sliced in half, has a spear through its head, is like hoisted up, tied up in Malcolm's whip, and has been battered by a small localized tornado. You know what? Lilith, when you cut this thing in half, the body of the chimera is also found in here. It was about to start digesting that. That's just been swallowed.
Yeah, just in like a
Well,
very
but it gave me back my brain.
in like a very tired voice, because I'm assuming that even though Raiko can heal at the end of battle, I'm just doing this for flavor. She just sort of says like, Reno, I found your brain. Give me 5. I need to sit down. Then she just goes off a bit away and just sort of squats. Catch.
So it's salvaging to get things from monsters, right?
Scavenge, yes.
Scavenge, that's what I meant.
Same thing. Find my list of things you can. There they are. Don't let me. So, I suppose technically you could roll scavenge 3 times because there's 3 creatures in here to try and scavenge from, or you can just roll a generic one, and we'll take that and apply it to all 3 things, whichever you are interested in.
My gut's telling me to do 3. My brain's telling me to ask if I can wait until after the first one is decided.
Yeah, you can totally do that. 13?
That'll work.
Alright, so you want to take the 13?
Yeah.
Okay, let's find what you find. Let's see what we can grab out. So, the first thing. Oop. Oop. Alright, so, okay, so the obvious one. You find, like, the heat sac. Basically the gland in the fire side of the snake, which is what it used to produce its flamethrower breath. It's basically like imagine, like, you know how, like, in a lot of media, like, a gland is just like a small flesh sac. It's just that, but it is perpetually on fire. There is a small burning fire in this sac at all times. So that is
Handle this very carefully.
that is a fire component. You know what? You find a brain. So that's what you're looking for in a chimera. You find its brain. The brain is undamaged. And now the obvious thing is to just give you an ice one. Just check.
Actually have so many components in my bag right now.
Ice breath gland? Fire breath gland, ice breath gland?
Like, well, the thing is, it didn't really have an ice breath, so I don't think it would have that. Instead, but I think.
What did I seal?
You sealed the fire one.
Yeah.
No, I sealed the ice one.
You did, but I don't know.
It had nothing to seal. Oh no.
Well, it's a magical effect, so it was a magical seal. So it went whoop.
Okay.
Let's not question it too much.
All right.
If we
Let's not
question,
look too deeply at what that was that you sealed.
Oh boy. It was its mouth cloaca.
oh god.
Just say.
Okay. I think that the last thing you find is going to be the scales of the ice thing. So that will come under a carapace / scales.
I was
Okay.
talking, and I have no idea if people heard me because I realized my mic was up the entire time.
I did not hear
know.
you.
Okay. Sorry.
But what were you
It's
trying to say?
jokes.
I forget now. So I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. Memories aren't... If it was important, you'd remember it. We'll be fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright.
It's fine.
So, Reno, as you scavenge around, just pulling this creature to pieces, what is everybody else doing? You looking around this room? Are you like, how strange? Or are you just, awkwardly looking away as Reno just, like, cracks open the snake's jaw and starts, like, ripping stuff outside of its mouth? And then goes over to a chimera and starts cutting its head open.
I would honestly be probably making sure that Lilith is okay, because she looks a little rough after her anime sequence.
After her Super Saiyan transformation.
Okay, so how does that scene go down?
You doing okay?
Yeah, just need to take a breath.
Do you need like healing?
Yeah, probably, most likely.
All right, well,
That particular Dark Knight ability takes a lot out of you.
that sounds awful. I'm just gonna. Is it cool? Can I like heal you? Is that all right?
Lilith gives a thumbs up.
Okay. Malcolm's gonna cast Cure.
Okay.
Hmm.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen you cast Cure, isn't it?
Yeah, I haven't needed to because Raiko's been there.
Yeah. So.
Do you want me to actually roll, or is this just narrative reasons?
Outside of combat, you can basically use magic indefinitely. I forget what it's called, but there's like a ruling for it. I think. Intuitive magic, that's what it's called. So, use out of combat to perform mundane and not so mundane tasks. But basically, you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah, the example...
Okay, then I will.
Yeah.
I'll heal her up then.
Okay.
After getting healed up, I assume Lilith will just let out a very, like sigh of relief and just be like, thanks.
Yeah, you may actually want to just continue hanging out and resting for a little bit, but you're not gonna die. Gives her a thumbs up.
Yes. Or I know that going unconscious when doing that ability apparently is not a good thing, so
No, probably I would. Yeah, I would not suggest that.
yeah, I tried to keep as control of myself as I can be. So I didn't go unconscious and I didn't die. So yeah. And Lilith just gives another thumbs up.
Well, this was a good talk. Just gonna go over here now.
Make sure not to get eaten by any other mysterious serpents. Can't believe I'm saying
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'll go check on her.
Okay.
I guess I'll just go watch Reno.
Oh man, I broke the other tongue.
Yeah. She's fine.
Yeah, she seems very fine.
Okay. So as you're doing that, you're having Lilith and Malcolm have their scene. Reno is digging away. Val, who is currently stood on top of the snake's head from where she landed, she kind of like holds her spear out and like shakes it off and not very happy. Like, takes a step off the foot and goes, that's like moving snake bits off her feet and starts just look around the room. Goes, anybody what this is? My understanding of ruins, not this. He kind of gestures. With the serpent destroyed, you do notice that the excessive heat and the frost, they seem to be diminishing, revealing that this entire room is, for our point of reference as players, it almost looks as if it is something out of like Star Trek. There's computer monitors on the walls, there's lots of tubes and general sci-fi machinery-esque stuff. And it kind of resembles like some form of command center you are stood in.
Well, I just put a point in systems.
I was about to suggest, like, would a roll of systems help in figuring out stuff?
If you wanted to go and play around on a monitor, I think it would 100%.
So just Reno go one monitor, Lilith goes to another monitor.
That works.
Yeah. So do you both want to roll systems for me then, please?
Yeah. Also, I love how Lilith was like, oh yeah, I'll totally just take a moment to sit down. Looks over at a nearby monitor. Actually.
Computer.
Oh, shiny.
So with a 7 and an 8, okay, so they 8 comes under. Oh, they both come under easy. So create rudimentary shelter in the wild, pocket an apple. I think it is fairly easy to find an on button.
What does this button do?
And you press the on button. Well, you press a button. It doesn't say on, but you press a button. And, the system kind of flickers to life, and the monitors, all the monitors kind of turn on. They all start to display the same image. The image is heavily distorted and heavily damaged. Imagine like a really battered VHS from a really early era camcorder. So it's bad video quality on a bad video player that is being played on bad video quality on a bad recording device that's being played on a bad monitor that have all been damaged and left to rot for hundreds, if not 1,000 years. That's how terrible the quality of this is. There is no sound, but the images that you can make out is you see essentially a large metropolis-like city. And
Oh.
this is not the same metropolis-like city you visited in your dream. This is not Zanikin, because you can see that it is. You see that it is near mountains, forest, and the ocean front. You can make out that this was on Besaid, and what happens it's just kind of like a very nice looking scene. You see some people like enjoying, there's some very advanced technology, like it scopes out to the beachfront, and you see like some very fancy looking boats, and you see one boat begin to lift itself up out of the water, and it looks as if it's about to start flying off somewhere, until immediately you see explosions. Just loud, well, they're not loud, there's no sound, but bright, powerful explosions dropping from the sky, as descending from above, you see a group of people wearing robes that look similar to those of the monks and priests of Bavel. Now, do I want you to roll something? I think rolling will be good here.
I have Inquiry and Lore Monster.
If lore
Yeah.
everything comes into play, I can roll it.
Yeah, I'm
I mean,
just...
lore everything could help.
Lore everything always helps. I was just checking if there was something specific. Didn't notice something.
Also, this might just be nerd brain, but I was immediately thinking of like just the scene in Chrono Trigger where you see like Lavos destroying everything.
That is
future.
that is basically it. Except it is a bunch of priests, religious zealots. So lore everything would work to like try and maybe find a time period where this took place. Lore history would be very good for that. And then to notice something specific, awareness would also be useful.
Okay.
I could do
I
that.
got me a 15.
Hmm?
12 on awareness.
11 on awareness.
Okay. So, Nat, are you doing lore everything to try and get a time frame on there?
Yep.
Okay, so we'll cover that first. Nat, this is 1,000 years, if not slightly more so. You can tell that these are the followers of Yevon, but is not clearly as defined and like unified as it is currently. But the markers are similar, incredibly so. And you'd probably, just I kind of know. Yeah, they 1,000 years ago, the fashion was a little bit more like this. That's just stuff I know apparently. The 12 and the 11, Lilith and Reno. One person, like, you don't see them for very long. In fact, you only catch a moment of them on the camera, or the display, before the display gets knocked over and cracked and it's just static. But you see a fairly unimpressive looking man. Like, just, and even in a silent image, just this aura of arrogance, the unnatural orange hue to the skin tone is just
Oh
kind
my
of
god.
there. And he
God
seems
damn
to,
it.
he seems to be the one giving the orders to the monks to go and attack and destroy everything.
Well, we stole his ship, so that's what matters.
So, yes, it would not be so outlandish to go, that looks incredibly like Perumpt. Well, that can't be possible. Perumpt died, Perumpt's alive now, and this is 1,000 years ago. There's no way some dude has just been around 1,000 years and no one's done anything about it, right? Nah, that can't be true.
I mean, his
Over at
evil
Spira
does meet the
Games.
level of eldritch abomination, so I mean,
I mean, it wouldn't. Be
I'm
the
not
first
ruling
time-
anything out.
It wouldn't be the first time I've read a story where it turns out that a religious figure is actually over 1,000 years old. As I've read stories about that. Religious figures are usually evil. I've read very weird stories as a child.
Dead quiet.
Yep.
Out of character, I'm referencing Fire Emblem because this happens all the time in Fire Emblem. It's rare to see a main villain that isn't a dragon or immortal.
I wonder if my headmaster's immortal. He's been there a while.
I mean, what evidence do you have that they are immortal? It's like they've is there family portraits of them that are eerily similar to them? They claim it's like a great grand whatever.
I don't think they have portraits in their office. And I've been in there a few times, mostly for explosion-related incidents. One time because of gas.
like from an explosion or just like gas?
I might have overfed a fire drake.
Oh. You know what? That makes
Fun
sense.
story. It was really wild time that day.
It makes sort of sense from what I know of you so far, Rito, but also I have so many questions.
I mean,
Mostly, like, how
was,
did it end?
we got the time mages to come help us corral everybody back into their cages.
Huh.
At least I think we did.
Meanwhile, I'm imagining like this video of like of old Besaid Island getting destroyed is just replaying on a loop as we're just talking about this.
Yeah, I actually like that mental like image. So it's like it kind of like crackles, goes to like all staticky distortion, and then it like kind of like hard jump cuts to the start of it again and play. So you're just having this weird conversation, and you're watching a civilization be destroyed. Like, huh.
It's how we cope. It's fine.
It's also possible that we had help from the students at theoretical physics.
Oh god, I always hated physics.
Hans just looks at us. That doesn't sound like a real thing. But what magic is
We're
this?
not quite
Physics?
theoretical.
I nearly failed Dark Knight Academy because of physics.
I mean, we're not entirely sure it's real either.
Then how do you study a thing that you might not know is real? That'd be like me studying theoretical stabbing.
That's what
Well-
I asked.
That's literally how you start learning stabbing.
Is
Yeah, you have to learn how to stab before you stab.
I learned it wrong? I think I learned it wrong.
I mean,
You know,
regardless, the students in theoretical physics are kind of weird in themselves, I think. Probably. We're not sure if they're really there either.
Are any of us really here?
That's kind of the purpose of theoretical physics.
I mean,
That sounds like that's a stone's
Maybe.
throw away from a philosophy course.
Well, it would be, except that every now and then our building is 6 stories instead of 5 stories.
I mean, I do have that one brother who honestly believes that we are just fictional people in a story told for others' enjoyment. I don't know how he got that way. He's a I swear he's a good guy aside from that, but sometimes he goes on rants of how we're not real and we're being controlled by what he refers to as the mythical DM.
I'm a cook in that story, as I'm putting the brain away.
Hans is having that like anime moment where like steam is just coming out of his ears so he can't process everything that's going on, and he's like, that's a weird way to
I love
pronounce
that-
Yevon.
I love that this is always where our conversation goes.
I love how Lilith now has a sister who is into like accounting and stuff, and now a brother who believes in the almighty DM.
How many siblings do you have?
Theoretically.
Let's see. There's me. There's me. There's Eve.
You know what?
Adam,
I take that back. Let's leave it a mystery, because hearing about them in an organic way is just fantastic. So let's
Okay.
anyway.
I believe Raiko would chime in at this point and goes, do we we leave this here? Do we? Not sure. Do we break it?
I mean,
I'm honest. I don't know if we can really do anything with this. Like, this seems like very old footage.
how do we
Is there
get
a
it
way-
out?
Is there a way I can copy it to something?
You could. You know what? Your systems ROM might not have been great, but it's also easy to find the eject button. So you find the eject button, and like a small panel moves, and a sphere gets lifted out. It is a green sphere, that is heavily damaged with a large crack going down the middle of it. That seems to be where this visual is stored.
Huh.
I'm
But
going
yes.
to put that away and just. I mean, it kind of looks like they attacked first. Is
Yeah.
that? I mean,
From the
Right.
footage, it seemed they attacked first.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
yeah.
It's pretty damning evidence. I don't even know there was a ancient society on state. That's kind of not written down anywhere. Like, we know about Zanarkand, but never heard anything about here. But kind of
Well-
explain why
Yeah,
this
I
place is so empty.
yeah.
Well, I mean, the unfortunate thing is that history tends to get written by the victors.
Yeah. Hans chimes
so
in
it
and
was
goes-
written by Sin.
Hans is gonna chime in and
I
goes,
mean,
"So we must find this victor! I'll kick his ass until he tells us the truth."
You,
be kind of hard if the victor is the current Meister.
I have the perfect way to turn Hans against the church. I lean up to Hans and go, No, you misheard. It's vicar. You want to go find the vicar.
Bastards! How dare they lie to us all! What's a vicar?
A priest.
Wait a minute. There's a priest in town! Let's go!
no,
Not a
well,
priest.
hold on.
Very specific
think-
priest. We'll let you know when we see him.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, hold
he's
on.
easy to spot. Trust me.
While this is very damning evidence, it also seems like a super bad idea to just go be like, hey everyone, there used to be a civilization here and current civilization destroyed it. What's up with that? Because I think that's a good way to get everyone to be like, hey, you're all crazy, you should be executed. Like, that seems like a bad idea, right?
It would be really interesting if there's a way to, I don't know, anonymously broadcast this.
Hmm.
From the sounds of it.
I'm just
At least from... after you, I'll keep making...
Sorry.
I will continue my shitpost after you finish talking.
Well, I was gonna say something out of character and then sort of play in character. You do this shitpost first.
What I think would be really good is if we had some kind of, court. A court that discusses human rights that we could present this to, and it would be taken seriously. That'd keep the people who are in charge in line, wouldn't it? That's how that works, right? Right?
Okay, I know, like, okay, if we're gonna break the fourth wall here for a second, I know we're in fantasy world, but come on, man. Like, okay, back inside the fourth wall. Yeah, no, that would be good.
I just had a terrible thought. What if we...
Worse than my thought of like one of the limit abilities
It's-
Lilith could have.
It's actually much worse because there is a guarantee that it would work.
Oh,
Okay, now I need to hear it.
What if we found a way to broadcast it from ship?
Oh.
Hmm.
I mean,
So the people would know it came from his ship.
I mean, is there any technology on board that can do that?
not
So are we
on
sure that
board.
There's an
doesn't
engineer.
No,
break?
but you do have an engineer.
Like
This is
to
true.
experiment.
Okay, just while we're all spitballing here, and we've heard from Hans. Hans is too Hans to not go along with whatever we say. So, just Val and Ryko, how are you guys feeling about light treason?
Yes.
Val
Just like trees.
Val has finished scraping the snake parts off of her shoes and looks around and kind of gives a non-committal shrug of, eh. Kind of obvious that they're in the wrong. I'm fully aware that I might follow the teachings of this, and that yes, fine, the people who are alive today may not be directly responsible for the atrocities of the past, but they have benefited from them, so they should be willing in some way, shape, or form to acknowledge that and do something about it.
All right. I mean, we should absolutely find the descendants of the people who were wronged, and then pay some sort of material or monetary. I don't know if the word reparation comes up, but as a way of saying sorry for all the atrocities that were committed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or just something.
I
Anything.
have a slight curiosity. The ships that were flying, they blew up and fell.
Fact.
I wonder if I can find the wreckage of one or two of them to kind of extrapolate how they were flying.
I mean,
I
what are
spent
you
like
stood in?
1,000 years.
Say it again.
What are you stood in?
Oh.
I don't get it.
Who wants to explore a fallen airship?
Oh, okay. I'm bored. Okay.
That would be the
Crazy.
main deck of the Star Trek thing that you were talking about.
Right. Yes. Okay.
I love that it took us that long to get that.
Yeah.
I wish I had a better way to like drop a hint at that. So I'm saying, hey, what do you think you stood in? But I couldn't think of one, so I am happy to
We get Perrunt immediately, but we don't get the airship until most of the way through. Maybe we should have rolled awareness on the damn airship.
Yeah. Maybe we were too distracted by Parumph to realize, oh, this is an airship.
I mean, I suppose what you
Can I-
could do, if you started toying around with the console a bit more, maybe you could pull up some blueprints and see that.
That's what I was about to ask, is if I could maybe use a different console to find schematics.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can totally do that. And you find that basically you have entered, like the entrance you came in from is like a hatch on the top. So you assume the rest of the ship is buried underneath. It'll be quite badly damaged, so it probably won't be able to fly, but you could at least go and like salvage a bunch of stuff from it. Or at the very least, you now have blueprints on how to make your own flying airship, some way, shape, or form.
So we
Gonna
could
make
make
so
an
much
airship in the
stuff.
future.
Like,
Technically, we could salvage this one and try to replace parts that are broken or missing.
Yeah, so like if you could find a way, if only you had some way to just demolish and make the 1,000 years worth of dirt just like be gone, because this thing is like buried under that and tree roots, and imagine if you could just like throw something at it and that would just be gone and not an issue to deal with, so you didn't have to spend hours of hard labor manually digging it out.
Hey, Raiko.
Raiko. Does Tauntaun want to be yeeted again?
Okay, so we can kind of just montage this if we want to do it like right now, because it'll still take time. But I love the image of just popping Tauntaun down, and Tauntaun just walks around in circles outside of these ruins, slowly just destroying all the dirt around it until you reveal the full airship.
Yes.
I love it.
I found the galley!
Okay, so I don't have an actual airship design for this. I mean, okay, a point of reference is the Fahrenheit from Final Fantasy X, which I think is a really cool airship design. Or we could literally just make it the fucking Starship Enterprise. We could do that. We could make it whatever flying ship we want this to look like, really. The collective decision. But I will leave that up to all of you.
Can we merge the two? Have the best of both worlds?
I mean, we don't have to have the full design right this second, but we can definitely, like, that's something we can mull over, what this full ship looks like.
There's also the Ragnarok from Final Fantasy VII.
There is.
Oh.
There's so many choices of what this could look like. I mean, like, most of the systems on this thing are absolutely shot to shit, but you have the schematics and you have the materials from it, so theoretically, over time, either you leave this here and you periodically come back to it, or you somehow find a way to drag it out to the ocean and attach it to the back of Perump's boat, and just drag it along with you everywhere you go.
What we could also do, because we are technically part of the Crusaders now, we could just leave instructions on things to do with the ship while we're gone, so that when we come back to it, it's partially completed.
We could just ask them to be like, hey, repair this for us.
Oh, yeah.
That is 100% something you should do. So, I think, after you've cleared enough of the rubble out and whatever, I think the logical and sensible thing is to head back to town and maybe have a conversation with the leader. Like, hey, we found this. Do a thing with it, please.
Speaking of the Crusaders, I feel like we're missing something. Like, weren't we supposed to be saving one of them?
Oh yeah, there was other people.
Wasn't it the leader that we were supposed to be saving?
Yeah, I think so.
Wasn't it the leader who came back and was all beaten up and
Yeah,
battered?
the leader came back. There was others with him, I think Dace mentioned.
I thought I said
Yeah, we should have
the
recovered
leader
the bodies.
went out on his own to do stuff. Of their own. I'd never really defined
Oh,
what
maybe.
it was.
I forget.
My memory's hazy, because unfortunately we've had to keep missing sessions for various reasons. As far as I recall, I don't think the mission was to come and actually save anyone. It was to stop whatever this thing was, which you've done.
Okay.
No, okay. Alright,
I mean, I could be 100% wrong, and I might have said, there are people you need to save, but I don't remember saying that.
well, in that case, our mission was not to do that, and if you go back and listen to the other episodes and we're wrong, you have too much time on your hands.
You
Yeah.
have too much time on your hands. Go watch every single episode on YouTube right now.
This is reality. We've already established that reality is malleable, so, you know.
Reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold.
Theoretical physics.
It's good, solid advice. Do that. Alright. Is there anything else anybody would like to do here before we just Star Wars wipe fade back to town?
Well, I've salvaged everything I can. And
Yeah, I don't
scavenged
think
everything I can.
Not sure if there's like I'm assuming like there was nothing else on the monitors aside from like schematics for the airship and then also the bit recording of stuff getting destroyed. Nothing like
Probably not much else of importance, I don't think. Like, you might find a bunch of, like, logs, you know, very mid-2000s era video games, so there's, like, a shit ton of just flavor text, but might be interesting. I'll have, like, you know, either some really dark or really wholesome little stories in, but it's entirely flavor, and all of these people are dead now, so it doesn't really...
Are there any corpses from people who may have died when this thing crashed?
Looking around, if you took the time and explored the whole ship, you'll see signs.
Yeah, I think so.
You will see signs that people were on this ship, but because of a monster infestation, a lot of things have been eaten or just demolished in some way, shape, or form. So you might find like clothing or items or things like that, but actual human remains, probably not.
I mean, to be fully transparent, I'm more interested in their stuff.
Okay. What are you looking for? Anything specific? Because I don't have any of this stuff rolled up. So if you want to try and justify some kind of physical loot, we can figure something out.
I mean, anything consumable. I mean, it's probably a little old, but
I don't think
potions and ethers are.
Yeah, potions, ethers. They don't have a sell-by date.
Yeah, so any of those I might find would be good.
Yeah, you know what? You go and find the supply closet. Just what's the word I'm looking for? The hold, the cargo hold. And you know what? Yeah, you can find a good chunk of what's the correct term for it? Potions don't exist. It's just something else. The thing is
Alchemy.
Property list.
when you like asked like there's a specific name for this, I just heard Maya in the background barking. It says the zoomies and barking.
So you find 5 tier 1 HP. Okay, I lied. You find 2 tier 3 HP restore items, 2 HP tier 1 restore items, and 3 MP tier 1 restore items. So basically 2 high potions, 3 potions, and 3 ether. So they recover 50% HP, 20% HP, 20% MP.
Nice.
That reminds me, I'm going to drink one of my potions.
Out of combat, you don't have to, because Raiko can just put you up to full health, because how Raiko do.
Raiko do.
I'm gonna do a thing. Get better. Yay.
Get better. Yeats heal magic.
Alright.
That would be amazing if that's his like spell focus. Does healing spells and throws Tauntaun, so I just have like a raging Tauntaun coming at me, but then there's healing magic.
Just a raging Tonberry going at you screaming, and then right as it's in front of you, it gives you a hug.
Revolver.
Okay, so mechanically, oh my god, we've not actually done this yet, but I think we now need to retcon this in. You know how Tonberries work in Final Fantasy games? How they just walk very slowly up to you and then stab you?
Yeah.
What if that is why a healing spell takes a full round? Because the entire round is Tauntaun walking over to you. And then he stabs you to heal you.
Just stabs you in the
Is
shin.
it like a slow stab or a quick stab? Like, is it just slow, like, I don't know, like, an owl house with, like, the abomination? When it first appears, it's just like, you are a star. Just Tauntaun going very slowly. Stab, heal.
Okay, so I would have to go and specifically find the animation of it, but like if memory serves, the animation of a Tonberry in Final Fantasy X is this nice slow, like it slowly walks up and then just kind of like does this. It almost falls over as it stabs into you because it just puts so much force behind it. It just goes like, ugh. So I'm gonna say it's like that.
Okay.
Alrighty. So if that is now absolutely everything we think we want to do here, do we just
My God, it's adorable.
Oh, have you found the animation?
I found a animation. I'm not sure if it's the right one though.
No,
It's
that's
the first
even,
thing that came up when I had the Tonberry.
even better. I could watch that forever.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Okay. So with that, do we want to head back to town? Because we can just jump cut over there.
Yeah, that's good for me.
Alright.
Yeah.
You know what? We jump cut over, and whatever interesting conversations you may or may not have had along the way, that happens. If anyone has like a specific thing they would be interested in talking about along the way, let me know. And we can do that, or we can just say, no, we just jump cut over, either or.
So anyway, I figure if I put electricity through it, it'll work like a brain should.
Maybe.
Hans is like, there's not electricity in brains.
I don't know. I thought I would try it and find out.
Oh.
I mean, that's a perfect way to find out with, like, just that brain. Probably will be as pretty ethical.
Hans looks to Van.
I mean, if you think about it, have you ever been, like, electrocuted by something really heavy?
Hans looks to Val and goes, Val, you can do the electric breath. If you do it, will I get smart? Will my brain be bigger? Val pinches her nose and says, Don't tell.
But I didn't even get to the destruction sphere.
I haven't been electrocuted myself, but I wouldn't recommend that.
I think this is like a conversation we're having exactly as you walk into the town. It is still, like, dead of night. Although, do we want to say the montage it took of Tauntaun digging up is now early hours of the morning, so sun is coming up?
Yeah.
Probably. It probably took us a while to, like, get all the schematics and scavenge everything. And
It's like the super high-tech airship, and then when we went to print out schematics, it's like an old 95 printer.
Oh my god,
my
no,
God.
no, it's from a fax machine. So it's not even a single sheet of paper, it's like one huge long sheet of paper.
Just the sounds are in my head now, thanks.
So, you know what? I love the mental image of the sun rising as you enter the gates of Besaid Village. You know, you've clearly been in fights. You know, So there's like giant burn marks and like just a lot of physical damage that has been done to you. Just casually walk in, carrying this giant bundle of paper, and
With a
While
jar with a
talking
brain in
about
it hanging out my
brains
backpack.
you've got like a meat sack that is like perpetually on fire, a brain in a jar, just walking back into town, and you walk back into town. You find Crew, the accountant, who brought his little desk chair out and was sat by the gates and having a little snooze. That kind of wakes up as you come and goes, you're back. Oh, that's really nice. So, got good news and bad news about what happened while you were gone.
Oh.
Yeah. So, good news. I've been promoted. So, apparently I'm now in charge. You know. Bad news. Other person died. From
Oh.
So plan is we're gonna do burial and whatnot, but we need to do ascending actually. But we didn't summon a plan. Probably do that.
I mean, if either Val or Raiko has the energy for it right now, one of them could probably do descending. It's like one of your. It's one of the things that summoners do, right?
Why don't both of them do it?
Val and Raiko look at each other and kind of go like, they give it like a collective like, yeah, all right. And so we can end the session with quite a solemn yet hauntingly beautiful scene. And I really have to try hard to not make this a terrible joke here, because this could be a really beautiful scene. But my mind, my terrible mind, was like, because ascending is basically this really beautiful ceremonial dance. At least the one time we have seen it happen is a dance. If you've never seen that video, that cutscene from Final Fantasy X, I highly recommend watching it. The cutscene of Yuna at Kilika. It's so wonderfully animated.
I'm gonna try to find that cutscene now, actually. You just keep talking.
But my terrible brain was like, what if they do the funky chicken dance instead? Like, no. So, I'm going to take the decision out of my hands.
I have a way to give you both.
Uh-huh.
They do their solemn ceremony, and Reno, in a fit of wanting to help, tries to mimic it, but it turns into that.
Oh.
Okay.
So she's just in the background somewhere.
So, I don't quite know if this, from a dance perspective, if Raiko and Val are dancing together, as in like doing a pas de deux as they perform. Is it, or if it is like a duet, which is like two separate things. I don't know what would be nicer. I kind of liked the idea of kind of does a bit of both, so they do their own separate thing. It has like aspects of contemporary mixed in with a very traditional folk style of dance. So lots of slow waving and wafting of the arms. Probably quite a few triple runs and lots of time. I have not danced in so many years. Brain is not good.
Yes, I know some of these terms.
Pod beret, that's the term. So because triple runs, pod berets, triplets, that you find them quite a lot in most folk dances because it's a very natural step. So what that means, a triple run or a triplet is literally, it's 3 steps, and it is normally verified by being like up, up, down. So it's a traveling step, and I'm describing stuff that literally only I care about when I'm describing this, so that's fine. Um, it's very nice. It's very beautiful. It's very solemn and serene. But I do kind of like the idea of maybe do a little corridor where they come together and they dance together to perform this ending, which is quite nice.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
now I don't know if it would be partnered more akin to like ballroom, or if it'd be more like in like contemporary or ballet, where they dance together, but you know they aren't in
Sorry.
partner. I think the term is where you actually like. Anywho, it just looks real pretty.
It looks very pretty.
I'm gonna do that and stop talking about dance. And as that happens, the body of the former leader of the Crusaders of this area, you see a pyre of flies come off him, and he seems to be sent off to the far plane to achieve a final rest. One thing which is quite noticeable is this body. It was clearly dead much longer than it has been back at town. This dude died fighting this monster, and his dead body willed itself to walk back into town.
That is hardcore.
That's
That is hardcore and also, huh?
I don't feel good about that.
Also, or like, do you mind if I just give like some flavor text because I just had an idea?
Please do. Please do lots and lots of flavor. This is Flavor Town. We want all of it.
I'm just imagining, and it's like back on, so you can't exactly see like her face, but there is like a moment during like descending where it just cuts to Lilith, and she still has her mask on, and then like for a moment she just puts her hand like to her mask, and it still has her, and then like doesn't show her face, but it does show like during descending, like there was a time where she just kind of like took her mask off and just sort of like kept it like onto the breastplate of her armor, like in respect. It don't. Her face is still not shown because like, ooh, mysterious and all, but yeah.
Oh, I like that. Actually, no. That's
Meanwhile, Chocobo in the background.
I was literally just about to ask. You know, that's actually a really nice idea. How do the rest of the party? Obviously, Reno is doing the funky chocobo. What's Malcolm's reaction to all of this?
These ceremonies are very uncomfortable to Malcolm. So he is probably in the very back of the crowd, trying not to pay attention to it, but just enough to look like he's giving reverence to it. Given that he has had so much loss in his own life, anything kind of around these
It's like
rituals or things like that is really uncomfortable for him.
which is fair backstory stuff.
It's frankly a pretty big like trauma trigger for him.
Okay, so Malcolm, if you're out here, slightly out of the way, Hans would approach you. Wouldn't say a word. Despite Hans is perpetually positive. Like, one might almost say like terminally optimistic is a good way of describing Hans. And in this moment, kind of looks at you. There's not like a big goofy smile or anything. It's a fairly serious face. Doesn't feel the need to say anything. And all he does is he offers a handout to you. Support.
Malcolm would be looking at the ground, so he wouldn't notice it at first, but he would look at up at Hans, because I mean Malcolm's not a small guy, but Hans is bigger, and clearly kind of trying to choke back some emotion, just kind of give him a nod and meet his hand.
Yeah, and with that, just Hans will take Malcolm's hand and just hold it gently, and still not saying a single word, still not feel the need to address anything, but there is just Hans does his absolute best to just be there, and will give like a very soft and gentle like caress of the, I don't know the term for it, but the gap between your thumb and your index finger. He will rub that spot on your hand with his thumb in small circular motions before finally saying 2 words. Just goes, okay.
And Malcolm will just nod.
I think that is a way to end that scene.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the perfect way to end that scene.
How do I ruin this and change the tone entirely? They're holding hands!
You hear Reno going, "Quee, quee, quee."
Val just turns around after descending and briefly sees Lilith without her mask. Right before the Dark Knight can even mask herself, it's just like, oh my god, that's what your face looks like!
Alright, so...
We must ruin everything.
Look, just because we can't handle serious emotions and we need to turn things into jokes, that is valid. It's fine. Anyway, I think that is probably a really good place to end the session, and I'm very happy with how that has gone. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you to my amazing, wonderful players. I have been the Bardic Knock. You can find me on the internet, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube, as well as the Bardic Knock. Discord channel as well, where it is mostly me just saying good morning and giving vague positivity, and then talking about video games and junk. So I check it out. It's a really cool place. So far, literally every single person who interacts there is just an awesome human being. So check it out. That's me. That's the stuff I do. Players, who are you? And we'll go down the line. We'll start with ATB. Who are you? What do you do?
I'll admit, I was almost tearing up, and then we got to like, okay, how can we ruin this serious scene? And I'm just giggling. Yeah. Hi. I'm a tired pie. Who has been playing Lilith? The supposed to be edgy Dark Knight, who is kind of like partly just like mom friend, partly. Oh no, I guess I'm not sure how to describe her. I don't know how to describe her. You describe her for me because I don't know anymore. Like supposed to be this gruff Dark Knight, but really it's like, oh. You can find me back here Wednesday for Digimon Digital Crash, where I play as Rukia Nakamura and currently Sanglipmon, who were fighting Mad Leomon, which is a thing. That's basic. And also, she is finally just riding a wolf steed into battle, and I'm proud of my little OC. And also possibly a thing Thursday on the Undead Case channel. I'm assuming she will give more info when she is up and about, and possibly on Wednesday. I can't really say specifics. But yeah.
All right. Awesome.
I don't know what else to say.
Oh, that's it. You said all the information. That was the end of a sentence. Natch, who are you?
I am your resident feels expert, Natch. Natural One. And you can find me on Twitter and my own Twitch channel where I'm going to be streaming more often. And I'm playing Malcolm, the Red Mage, and I can't focus. So I think that's good. I think I hit most of the boxes.
Yeah, that covers everything. And finally, Rain, who are you?
I am. I'm joking. I am Rain Hayes. I play Reno, who is pure chaos and love. You can find me over on Shay Foxy's channel every Tuesday, supposedly, playing a very disgruntled werewolf who, I'm not exactly sure which direction I'm taking her in now. We kind of revealed her backstory already. Other than that, you can find my products on Dungeon Masters Guild, and I'm working on a few different things right now that I have no idea if or when I will complete them.
That is a really good sales pitch.
Like, I have 3 games in the works and 2 DM's Guild products that I don't know how to finish.
Well, I'm sure if you do, they'll be really good, because Rain stuff is so for real. Heck yeah. Alright, I think that is everything. So, until next time. Wait, no. The words. Yeah, this will be edited, uploaded. Probably by Wednesday. So you keep on top of everything. Should be. That's that. That's that. Yep, that's a sign off. Done. Alright, until next time, everybody.
Just sign up. Bye.
Stay safe. And happy adventures. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You done?
Oh god, that was a mistake.